Cassie. She has finally responded with all that Diddy controversial. She came out with this and said, "Thank you for all of your love and support from my family, friends, strangers, and those I have yet to meet. The outpouring of love has created a place for my younger self to settle and feel safe now. But this is only the beginning. Domestic violence is the issue. It broke me down to someone I never thought I would become. With a lot of hard work, I am better today, but I will always be recovering from my past. Thank you to everyone that has taken the time to take this matter seriously. My only ask is that everyone open your heart to believing victims the first time. It takes a lot of heart to tell the truth out of a situation that you were powerless in. I offer my hand to those that are still living in fear. Reach out to your phone. Don't cut them off. No one should carry this weight alone. This healing journey is never ending, but this support means everything to me. Thank you. Love always, Casey." She finally responded. I don't know if anybody has been in a situation, but like, what does this her responding do to you? Is it just another typical day where you guys touched by the letter? Go ahead, Darren. I see it came off the mic.
I was touched by it. I'm glad that she was able to respond and give somebody out there that probably was looking forward to her having something to say about this situation. Because I mean, it's a lot of women that's going through it. I'm glad that she's able to get through it and she's able to figure out a way to continue her life and try to live in peace. But she stated something towards the end. She said that I think the pain is never ending, or the journey uh, to heal is never ending. That's the only thing that really stuck out to me. Everything else was phenomenal. It's just that whenever you try to move on in another relationship with someone after going through that, and you not healed, maybe that could play on your compatibility with someone in the future. Maybe you're never healing, and it sounds like she's accepted that she'll never be healed. How does my concern is, how does that look for the guy that's willing to court you, date you, marry you, and perhaps maybe have a family in the future? Like, is that even possible, knowing that you're internalizing this trauma to a point where you don't even believe that you can get the journey will never end? That's my only concern, and I'll yield.
Just an interesting point there. Go ahead, Ruth.
But that is a fact that you live with trauma. It doesn't go away. You just have to manage it. Um, when I heard it, I just was like, we were on another show and I was able to talk about it and understand the point of like the responsibility of the victim without saying like, oh no, but like without going back there. So I think that, and then I realized like, oh wait, I talked about it and it didn't take me back there. Like I can still be objective. That's how you are, close to healing or healed. So you can learn, you can grow. That's like somebody having a horrible childhood and you say, well, you know what, I can't deal with you because you had a bad childhood, so you're going to be horrible to me. You don't know, but when you know somebody passed, you know how to move around them. You know what their triggers are. You know what they've been through. You know why they respond. Other people that are not self-aware can't even tell you what's wrong with them, what they've been through, and you don't even know how to move. So you might have a lot more clarity if she did the work. So
yeah.
her.
And for the people that's watching on the panel, Casey is married after splitting from Combs in 2018. After 6 years of dating, Cassie, 37, found the love of her life. Her husband, personal trainer Alex Fine. The couple tied the knot in August of 2019 in an intimate Malibu ceremony, and shortly after welcomed 2 daughters, Frankie, which is 4, and Sonny, which is 3, plus their dog, French Fry.
Well, it appears that she's able to thrive. And I know it's none of my business on how they actually making it work, but I guess that's a clear example that if you do find yourself in a situation that's this disgusting, there's still some hope that you can move on and get into a marriage. So I think that's a beautiful thing.
Oh, you sound like me now, Bruiser. I said you sound like me now. I've been saying that only the whole time.
That's what's up. We see eye to eye on a lot of things. You just don't know.
I see eye to eye. Can y'all hear me better now?
Yeah. You got a mic now?
Yeah, upgrade, in my internet work too. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to see. I think one of the important things to take away too is how important that foundation is. Typically, if the foundation is together on the front end, then it can eliminate a lot of things that may occur. Usually, people that have gone through trauma, once that foundation gets interrupted, then you open up a whole nother can of worms with them, and it's probably going to go down here from now, especially if they're triggered by um, an act of such that reminds them of it, and or it could be something that's not associated with it, right? It could be something as far as trust. Once that trust gets broken in the beginning, then it starts to play into their psyche. And if you mess up, that's a whole other story. But go ahead. Anybody else want to respond? D, Samantha?
I do. Her words are definitely powerful. And even when she mentions healing, and I had this conversation with somebody the other day, you can be healing, but then there's a big difference from being healed from something. When you look at something that hurts you, and if we were to get cut, you see that scar tissue. Whether you're still feeling it or just having that impression, or even with triggers, this is something to where even though they settled out of court, but now, of the past is coming to light. How is that affecting her currently? And it's very important, even as you move on from a past situation to moving forward. It's also important for that person that you're involved with. What is his capacity, patience, being able to take on, I don't want to say her issues or her past, but if you're someone that does not have that capacity, or even a part, what they say, hurt people. And sometimes even if your own, ignorance or anything, if there's things in life that you are still not over, I advise people all the time, like, you sometimes have to unfortunately face those demons, like face your past. And even if it hurts, sometimes you just have to live in that truth and that authentic. So for myself, I was in a past situation to where once I was done, I had to have my mindset to be ready to face like everything that was going to come. Did it come with some negative? Yes, it did. But the peace that I have now, like, I wouldn't trade it for the world. Yes, there's, lessons learned and everything. And then as I even continue to move forward, I'm not somebody, I don't dwell on the past, but sometimes our past can be, and with her being in the limelight with the celebrities, it's going to be broadcasted. People are going to have their opinions and what they say. And even if you have people that's speaking on it right now, everybody's like, oh, well, this person, forgot who it was. They were talking about him recently. I don't know if it was, it'll come to me, but they started highlighting some of their past mistakes with, women and just abuse and different things. So I think healing from something and just being on that recovery journey, this is something that is still, it's almost like kind of like reopening that wound per se. And then it's like, how deep do you really want to go? How deep do we even get an insight to what she really went through? But it was a lot, but I do think it takes strength to begin to even talk about it, and to really just be like, okay, this is what it is, ready, and let's just talk about it.
I think something else too to kind of I think is very important is often the victim expects the person that they're dealing with to have patience, but the victim needs to have patience with the person that's interacting with the victim, because some people don't sign up for it, and often happens it's not revealed in the beginning. And so since it's not revealed in the beginning, then it just comes up and it's like, okay, I never seen you act that way. What's going on? And once you start doing a deep dive into the past, because you didn't disclose this, now they got to factor that in, because if these outbursts and these tantrums are going to be happening often, and that's something you got to factor in for the future. And some people don't, they don't want to deal with it. It's not their job to heal you and save you. So if you are a person that has gone through something, then you might want to reveal that early on versus later. And even if you do reveal it, it they might have to go through a few sessions themselves to understand how to deal with somebody who have had this level of trauma.
I definitely agree in what you're saying, and it goes back to what Bruce said earlier, just with carrying trauma, and that's something that people don't have to accept. They don't, and sometimes it can sound harsh, but if you're still somebody that's carrying a lot, I'm not obligated to help you through this. Now, I can support you, but it's not my load to carry or to make my burdens even heavier. Now, however, if I choose to be that person for you, that I can pour into you, that I can do this and X, Y, and Z, but I definitely do agree to your points.
All right. Thank you, D. Let's get a couple more other people on this. Sam, you wanted to say something, Toya?
Me, not really. It's a trigger for me. It's something that I'm just not going to even touch that subject. It's something that I'm just like, mm-mm.
Understood. Understood.
Yeah, I'm kind of fighting it too, Sam. Yeah, so much. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying as it relates to, um it's not anybody else's responsibility, and it's yes, it's a choice. But I feel like if you're aware in the beginning what someone has gone through, then it's you just want to be careful with how you handle them. And everybody, some people have knowledge and then still handle you in a certain way. So I don't know. I'm gonna tiptoe around that subject.
All right. Understood.
A
Anybody else?
lot of women, a lot of women have to go through this. Like, this is something we have to, navigate through. A lot of women have been SA'd. A lot of women have been touched. Like, things are going to happen to women that don't happen to men. So if you guys are insensitive and say, "Oh, something happened to you," no. Like, just like if a lot of men go to, I'm not gonna say like most Black men go to jail, but some of y'all get locked up for a weekend, or you've been harassed by a cop or whatever. I'm not going to judge you. And I know this is what comes with being a Black man. So the less judgmental you are, the more open-minded you are. I'm not saying somebody that's like, they have this horrible pattern and then they went and made a whole bunch of bad decisions. Yeah, that looks like a walking red flag. But if they're changed, you can see their behaviors change. You make sure that you have proof. And I'm sure Diddy was so evil that if she's with a good man, that he's not even gonna go anywhere near that behavior, and she can appreciate a good man even more because of what she had to go through. She may not take him for granted. So it just depends on like how much you love each other. Anything like can be worked through. Like, people go and have marriages for 35 years. You don't think they won't go through anything? Yeah, things gonna happen. So you gotta, it's the maturity part where it's like, what do I love this person? What do they do for me? And I'm willing to accept this, not that. So